What's the most expensive thing ever? The answer better not be the power of friendship, bro. This better not be no corny-ass anime conclusion. But realistically speaking, the most expensive thing has to be like a pure mineral. Because if y'all didn't know, there's minerals and like materials on Earth that genuinely like only a handful can exist because of something called radioactive decay. So there's minerals that like every 30 minutes, they decay in half. So those minerals are valuable, but who are they valuable to? Because the only person who would ever like utilize them effectively is like space programs. And even then, they're not really used for anything. The most expensive thing ever is family.
If you saved $1 billion every single day for your entire life, you still wouldn't come close to affording the most expensive thing ever. But to find out what that is, we'll be going on a journey through the most valuable thing.
Oh, there's gonna be controversy in this video. I already know. If y'all didn't know, that's the crown that they stole from India, I think. There's hella drama about returning that crown back, bro. Yeah, I love that, bro. I think I've seen that in 30 different thumbnails. Like, this is the clickbait image used in every thumbnail, bro.
Distance, all starting with you. The raw ingredients needed to make a human cost only $152,000. But if that's out of budget, you could just boil down a pig, because chemically you're pretty much the same, they're just slightly tastier. But since you're already fully assembled, the government—
How do you know that though, bro? I don't think you'd know that. You'd have to ask a cannibal which one tastes better. But low-key humans, bro, I think humans would taste horrible. Because usually with animals, the younger they are, the more tender the meat is. Like, humans live way too long. We're not meant to live this long, bro. Like, back in the olden days, how long did humans live for? Like 30 years? That was the average. Now you got people living till 80. You know what an 80-year-old would taste? Okay, pause.
officially values you at $14.2 million. And they're lowballing you, because if someone hypothetically harvested all your organs, they could make $45 million. You're pretty expensive. But to find the most expensive thing—
Oh, hold up. We're talking 45 million? Hey, buddy, you guys can have an arm, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, I don't really use my left. You get what I'm saying?
Ever. We need to look at much costlier items, with the next being a well-known painting that became famous for all the wrong reasons. It's 1503 in Italy. A rich silk merchant goes up to a painter and says, "Could you make me a painting of my wife?" "Sure. Give me like 2 weeks."
Damn. I'm sorry, 16 years? It doesn't even look that— okay, hot take, bro. It just doesn't look that good. The reason it's so expensive, by the way, is because of the drama around it. Not the painting itself. It's because it was stolen multiple times from the Louvre. And that— damn, I already said that like a proper French person. I hope you're proud of me, baguette people, bro. They stole it from the Louvre multiple times. Well, that's what made it so expensive. Not the fact that it's cool or like an advanced drawing. It's really not that— I know like art students that have drawn more like sophisticated paintings. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Leonardo da Vinci never fully finished that painting, but he actually sold it right before he died to the King of France, and it stayed in the bedrooms of powerful guys until ending up at a museum where no one cared. Until it got stolen, then found, then taken on a PR campaign, and now this 30-inch plank of wood smeared with colored oil is valued at $1 billion.
Oh, shush.
But nature's greatest work of art was found by complete accident.
By the way, the reason paintings sell for so much is because of like, it's money laundering, bro. Like, I'll just keep it as it is, because the fact that it's an asset. No one's actually— no, rich people think that rich people, at a certain threshold, you start like wanting to go on like islands where there's like little people and like, and buying paintings. That's not how it works. The fact that— the reason they go on islands, I'm not really sure, but the reason they buy the expensive paintings is because they're a store of value. It's basically like advanced money laundering, if anything, but could be an investment, I guess.
Sir Thomas Major Cullinan dug a hole in the ground and filled it with Africans to mine rocks for him. And in 1905, a diamond was found. And it happened to be the biggest diamond ever. Completely colorless, zero imperfections, the most chemically perfect rock produced by the planet. And the guy who found it was this guy, the mine's manager. He was just going for a stroll when he randomly saw it in the wall, and he got a nice check for it. Then the rock got cut up and shipped in a literal postal box to more white people. The total value of this rock is estimated at $2 billion, making it the most expensive luxury item ever, thanks to its rarity and prestige. But the most expensive—
Come on, but the controversy that surrounds diamonds, like Le Beau, whatever it's called, bro, like all diamonds is— the value so manufactured. The fact that they're trying to convince us that lab-made diamonds are worth any less than normal diamonds is actually insane. They are chemically identical, bro. Like, as a matter of fact, it's chemically superior. Because the reason they can tell if it's lab-made or not is because the imperfections. Like, it literally makes no sense. Like, people need to start valuing what actually matters, bro.
Expensive land—
which is family. Okay, I'm loving these, so I need to chill.
ever is something you would never expect. France. owned all this land in 1803, and the United States wanted a little piece of it. So they went over to France with $10 million and said, "Can we buy a little piece of your land?" France's leader and conqueror of Europe, Napoleon, was like, "How about you pay me 15 million for the whole thing?"
Damn.
Yes? The Louisiana Purchase doubled the size of the United States at the cost of 4 cents per acre. This land today is worth thousands per acre, making it widely considered the single greatest land purchase in history, as long as you don't ask the people originally living there. But the Louisiana Purchase wasn't the most expensive.
Yeah, I love that. I just like, obviously I'm being sarcastic, but the fact that he sold land that's not even his, bro. Like, people back then were actually tripping, bro. Thank God you don't live in a colonial time. But even that's happening like nowadays. I can't even lie, bro. He's low-key still living in like the effects of it.
Expensive in history. There was a piece of land that cost way more than the entire American Midwest, and it's this. This plot of land with a parking lot that cost $3 billion. Why did this parking lot cost more than a fifth of the United States? Well, back then, the Louisiana Purchase was a gamble on an uncharted frontier. This modern-day plot of land in the center of one of the most valuable financial districts on Earth, where the government artificially restricts the land supply, was just a much safer investment. Land is valued for its potential, but the houses we put on top of the land...
You guys don't realize, like, Hong Kong is what you would get if you forced 30 million people into, like, a small house, bro. I'm exaggerating, but it's basically what's happening there. People sleep in literal coffins. Search it up, Hong Kong coffins. People sleep vertically. That's their homes. Little coffins vertically. Bro, it's actually so sad. People are crammed in Hong Kong, bro. Like, it's New York times 1,000. I don't know how people can live that way, man.
Are somehow even more expensive. In 2019, a finance guy spent $240 million on a high-altitude hollow brick in New York City that he doesn't even live in. Actually, all of these buildings are half empty, because the rich people buying them are just treating them as investments. If they actually needed a place to stay, they would just do what the richest guy in India did and spend $2 billion erecting their own personal monument.
Yeah, I can't lie. I've watched like 50 of these videos as a kid. The most expensive house in the world. But bro, it's like things like this, the fact when you realize that most of the buildings in like major cities are empty because they're treated like investments, it makes you realize why squatters are a thing. Like, okay, the law allows you to just stay in someone else's property and legally have the right to stay there even though you never paid a dime. It doesn't really make sense, but when you like find out about things like that, like that's also an issue. The fact that most of the land in like these major cities, nobody's living in. It's literally treated as investments. When there's people that are out there on the streets begging, like it makes you realize that it's a bad solution to a very real problem.
That has a dark secret. This is Antilia, the most expensive private residence in the world, valued today at $4.6 billion. It has a 168-car garage, 3 helipads, a snow room, and the entire thing was built on an orphanage. And if you're wondering where the orphans went, the house also has 600 servants. There are investments, there are status symbols, but the most expensive house ever is the hardest to truly value. Its purchase price? £21,000 in 1761. When King George III bought Buckingham House, it was just a little shack for him to store his wife. But after a few hundred years of renovations and millions in state funding, it became a 775-room palace. Its value is estimated at...
Bro, the thing is, people don't realize the UK has the worst living conditions out of any first world country. Like, I'm not kidding. We've gotten so desensitized to it. Bro, come try getting an apartment in London or anywhere in the UK, bro. Like, the houses in the UK are probably its weakest point. Like, you can spend the same amount of money you're gonna spend on living in the UK that you're gonna spend in Germany or that you're gonna spend in the US. You'll realize that you're gonna get a quarter of that. The bathrooms are like horrible. All bathrooms are horrible. To get a clean property, you're gonna have to spend like $2,000. Like, it's insane. Like, living prices, as in like rooms and accommodation in the UK is probably its weakest point, bro. It's because they hide behind the fact of historical significance. Like, the buildings are barely renovated. It's like trying to turn a cave into like a living space, bro. You get cardboard walls and like horrible living conditions and like mold everywhere because it's the building's 500,000 years old. Like, yeah, that's a very real downside, bro.
£4.9 billion, but this is just a guess based on its prime location and historical significance. To find something more valuable than any house, we just need to scale up to the most impressive and disastrous structures in the world. Mega projects. The US interstate highway system is the most expensive mega project in history, costing an inflation-adjusted $634 billion. But it was worth it. For every $1 of that cost, it's returned $6 in economic output. This project had a clear problem, a clear plan, and a clear result. Pretty straightforward. In 2021, Saudi Arabia started building a 110-mile line-shaped city made out of Empire State Building tall glass mirrors.
Bro, what happened to this project? This is what I'm saying. The internet is like 80% waffle. Like, where did this go to? This was all over TikTok. Everyone was talking about the line. Oh my god, I need to go buy a property in Egypt and then buy a property in the line. Real ones would get that reference, bro. But like, it's like, what happened to this project? It's all talk, man.
Was supposed to cost $500 billion and be done by 2030. But now the date is maybe 2080, and the cost is maybe 8.8 trillion. The line will be the most expensive mega project ever if it actually gets built.
No.
If.
That's the dumbest thing ever.
45 Mount Everests above all of this is the International Space Station, the most expensive single object ever built by humans. But its cost is the least impressive thing about it. See, legendary mega projects like the pyramids represent what one civilization could do. The ISS represents what every civilization together could do. It took hundreds of thousands of experts from all over the world to manufacture parts that fit together perfectly when assembled in an empty void that would kill a human in 90 seconds. This
Goosebumps. I can't even lie, bro. Like, we can accomplish great things in Unity. Damn, I'm actually so corny, bro. I'm the one who was complaining about the most expensive thing being the power of friendship, bro. I promise you it's gonna be something corny like that. But actual goosebumps, bro.
is the greatest masterpiece ever built by humans, and it shows what can be accomplished when the world comes together. But it's way more costly when the world comes apart. War is pretty expensive. The American Civil War cost so much that to fund it, the government had to invent paper money and the federal income tax. God damn it!
Damn, bro, I kind of look like Abraham Lincoln, like no cap, bro. I low-key do. I mean, he wasn't a particularly good-looking guy, but I am, like, kind of named after him. Not really, I'm not named after him, but we got the same name.
World War I cost so much that Germany was still paying it off until 2010, and World War II was the most expensive conflict in history. The full global cost of this war has never been calculated, but it involved every major power devoting a majority of their entire economy to destruction.
I heavily doubt it's never been calculated. You're telling me, you know how many people are like so in love with like war and like war stories? Like, I know kids that can name you every single tank used in every single war, bro. Like, there's people like that out there. It's definitely been calculated.
The end of the war, 70 million were dead, a majority being civilians, and most of the involved countries were in shambles. Military spending as a percentage of GDP has never come close to World War II levels since, and if it ever does, we probably won't be aware. War is pretty expensive. World War II military spending was 25 trillion in today's dollars. But
you know what's terrifying? We're never gonna have another world war. Like, it's not feasible, which is comforting until you realize that the other solution or the other option is just world destruction, bro. We've got nuclear bombs now, buddy. Like, you think Kim Jong-un isn't ready to bomb every single nation if his food is cold, bro? Like, we're cooked. Like, there's not gonna be another world war. We're either all gonna turn green and like, trust me, you're not gonna turn into the Hulk when a nuclear bomb is dropped on you. You're just gonna decay, bro. You're not gonna turn into Beast Boy once Putin nukes your home, bro.
Cost of its destruction is unknown. All the things in this video have value for different reasons, but the most expensive thing ever is the most unusual. Every single particle has an antiparticle with an opposite charge. When they touch, they annihilate and release energy. A single gram of antimatter could release more energy than 3 Hiroshima bombs. Bananas. Every 75 minutes, an atom in a banana decays, producing one single particle of antimatter. But the particle is so small that if you had one banana for every human that has ever existed, you would have to wait 97 times.
There's only been 117 billion humans. Bro, that's the power of compounding. Like, right now, there's like about 10% of all humans that have ever lived are on the planet right now. That is crazy to think about, bro. Oh my god. The math is off. It's more like 5%, but that's still insane. Does that blow your mind as well? I'm low-key tripping right now. I feel like I'm a brain fart, bro.
Has ever existed. You would have to wait 97 times the age of the universe to produce 1 gram of antimatter. But that still wouldn't work because the banana antimatter particles only exist for 125 picoseconds, which is 1/1000th of a blink. The only way to make a meaningful amount of antimatter is by firing tiny particles at almost the speed of light into a metal rod, then catching the debris in a vacuum. There's currently only one facility that does this, and in its entire existence, it's made less than 10 billionths of a gram of antimatter, which would—
Bro, see, this is the most, like, hard to get thing on the planet, so technically it's the most expensive, but not really, because what would you ever use this for? Like, yes, it's rare, but it has no value, it has no real-world application. What would I do with antimatter? Energy, right? I mean, I guess so, but, like, at the same time, it doesn't feel like a convincing solution. There better be something after this.
make enough energy to power a light bulb for 4 hours. Antimatter,
Like the power of friendship and family.
could be the most efficient energy source ever, and studying it could answer questions about how the universe was formed. But it's so difficult to make that NASA estimates 1 gram would cost 62.5 trillion.
Yeah, and if anything goes wrong, we're cooked, because the more energy, the more damage. Like, if that facility has even a tiny mistake, which we're not wise enough to avoid that, by the way. You might have a lot of trust in NASA and whatnot, but trust me, if it takes one idiot flipping a button or writing the wrong code in, and the whole world implodes, yeah, we're dealing with, like, colossal levels of energy. Like, this is a very realistic way that the universe could end, bro. I'd say there's, like, a 5% chance that we die, all of us, if we are gonna all die, because of some crap like this, bro.
But if we ever somehow manage to get a gram of antimatter, wouldn't the most expensive thing be whoever owns the antimatter? Which would probably be a country, maybe the United States, which is already worth 180 trillion. But then, the Earth is worth—
Elon Musk is worth 1 trillion. Oh my god, that's actually insane. Elon Musk is worth like a percentage of the United States. That's insane. That one person can achieve so much, bro. That's low-key motivational. I don't even care, bro. Like him or hate him, bro.
5 quadrillion. And now that we're in space, there are asteroids floating around with quintillions worth of gold and platinum. And the sun is made of gas worth 30 nonillion. The universe—
See, that's BS because you can't extract that. That's like saying, bro, like what? That's like saying, yeah, the Earth is worth 5 quintillion. Yeah, well, my piece of land is theoretically worth 2 quintillion, but I can't harvest the diamonds that are the center of the plot of land I own. Like, you get what I'm saying? There's costs of extraction. Like, that makes no sense. I mean, sure, buddy, you're reaching now. You're getting on my nerve.
is filled with an infinite amount of wealth, all of which we got for free.
Damn, that's actually like deep. That like we can low-key get it for free. Really? I mean, the reason money exists is because we made it. I don't even know. Something to think about, man. Hey, if you guys enjoyed, subscribe. I don't know how long this video is, but the original video was 9 minutes. So if y'all telling me I don't like transform the content, you guys can go F yourself, bro. See ya.